welcome. I'm Sammy, and today we're going to be flowing through a nice, slow and gentle gratitude flow. This practice today will be about 35 minutes long and will include a bit of movement, a bit of stillness, focus on the breath, and a bit of savasana, resting time at the end. We will use plenty of postures on the back and focus strongly on the root chakra today as we strengthen and cleanse the spine. Feel free to take any poses that inspire you or that your body feels that you need as we continue through this practice today. And just know that you can always find comfort in seated or child's pose if that's what feels good for you. We are going to start lying down on the back today, so feel free to join me on your mat when you're ready and we'll get started. So coming all the way down to your back when you're ready, this is where we're going to start today. Feet about mats width apart and just letting the knees fall in together. You can find a comfortable placement for the hands. Maybe that's on your stomach. Maybe you bend the elbows at a 90-degree angle. Let the arms rest out to the left and the right. Or maybe you just have them at your sides with your palms facing the sky. We're going to take a moment here and just tune into the body. Notice how you feel today. Maybe you do a brief scan from head to toe and observe. See if you're holding tension anywhere in particular. If there's any areas of the body that feel like they need a bit more love today. And trying to refrain from judging as bad or good. Just observing, allowing our body to openly communicate with us. As we begin to tune more and more into the body, if you'd like, you can begin to soften the gaze. As we begin to tune more and more into the body, if you'd like, you can soften the gaze, maybe close the eyes. Begin to observe the breath. Noticing, is it shallow today? Is it deep? Inconsistent? Are you breathing into the belly or into the chest? And just observing. Begin a little bit of gentle movement just by dropping the head one way and then the other. Gently massaging the back of the head on your mat. And coming back to center. Go ahead and bring the knees to float over the hips. Bringing the palms of your hands on top of each knee and just letting the feet hover. Take the knees with your hands and begin to do gentle circles. Starting nice and small. And slowly working your way into larger circles with the knees, using your hands as a guide. Keeping the feet plenty loose. Releasing any tension that you might be holding in the face and the jaw. And eventually switching directions. This time working with wide circles and gently coming into smaller. And slowly coming back to center when you're ready. Take a breath. And gently drop one foot to the floor and then the other. Allow the hands to come to your sides. We're just going to windshield wiper the knees. Only going as far as you feel is necessary. Coming back to center. Go ahead and bring the knees back up into your chest and give them a nice squeeze. If you'd like, you can rock a little side to side, massaging the lower back. Or you can just find stillness. Notice all the areas where the spine connects with your mat, where the earth comes up to support you. We're just going to come into a nice supine twist. So go ahead and bring the arms out to a T. And drop both knees to the left. You can play around with walking the knees closer to the left hand or farther away. Just finding the most comfortable posture for you. Maybe you gaze over the right hand if that's comfortable. Take a few breaths enjoying this pose. On your next exhale, you can rock the knees back through center and then drop them to the right. Once again, finding the most comfortable version for you. Maybe gazing over the left hand. And then taking a few breaths while you enjoy this pose. Gently rock the knees back through center on your exhale. Drop the right foot to the earth and go ahead and bring the left ankle on top of the right knee. We're just going to thread the hands underneath the back of the right thigh and gently pull inward, flexing the feet so that both toes point towards the sky. Noticing any intense sensations where you're feeling a stretch or a tension, and just breathing into those areas. Always coming back to the breath. Gently drop the right foot back to the earth. Allow the left foot to come to the earth and bring the right ankle on top of the left knee. Thread the hands behind the left thigh and gently just pull inward, flexing both feet towards the sky. Once again, breathe into it. Always listening to your body, never going farther than you need to. But at the same time, attempting to refrain from judging as good or bad, just allowing the mind to come back to the breath. You can gently release. Drop the left foot to the floor, and then the right. Bringing the knees back up towards the chest. And we're just gonna add a little bit of playfulness by rocking up. So start by lifting the feet. And we're rocking up into boat pose. So if you need to come to a seat first and plant the feet on the ground, that's fine. Otherwise, you can just allow them to hover for a moment. Maybe you let the feet come out in front of you so they're about parallel to the earth with the shins. Lifting the chest, maybe opening the hands towards the sky. If you're here, that's fine too. Maybe you're here with just the toes on the earth. Or maybe you even take a more challenging version of this pose and begin to straighten the legs. Just breathing wherever you are. Just one more deep breath. And on the exhale, you'll gently and with control rock forward, still bending the knees, feet about hips width apart. We're just going to rest the head over the knees. Dropping the head, letting it hang. You should feel a nice gentle stretch on the back of the neck. Relax the shoulders. Relax the area between the eyebrows. We're going to gently roll back up all the way to seated, lifting the chest, lifting the head last. Go ahead and drop the left knee to the earth in front of you. Right leg will come behind you so that your right knee is right out next to your hip here. Knees are bent at about a 90-degree angle. Your left shin is almost parallel to the front of your mat. Doesn't need to be exactly parallel. In fact, you might even want to walk the ankle back towards the body just a bit. Flexing the toes. We're going to inhale, arms to the sky. And exhale, bending forward just so slightly. looking towards the earth to give a bit of length in the spine. Just breathe here. If you'd like to walk it down farther at this point, feel free. Maybe you come onto the forearms. Maybe you grab a block to rest the forehead on, or to rest the elbows. Or maybe you place one hand on top of the other and bring your head to the top of your hands. Taking a few more breaths wherever you find yourself. As you breathe, maybe you can find any tension in the face, in the shoulders, or the back that you don't necessarily need, that you could let go of. Softening through the hips as much as possible. And once again, letting go of some of that tension. On your inhale, you can plant the hands once again if they're not already, and crawl back up to seated. We're going to come the other way, windshield wipering those knees. So now you have the right calf out in front of you, left knee is out to your side. This side might be completely different, so make any adjustments are necessary. Maybe you walk the right ankle in towards the body, just fit. Inhale, arms to the sky. And exhale, bring your hands out in front of your calf. Bending forward ever so slightly, dropping the chin. As you continue to breathe here, maybe you come down even farther. Maybe you even bring the forehead on top of the hands. And always knowing that these are just options. If you're here at the first variation, that's just as good as being all the way down here on the ground. We're just listening to our bodies. And just a couple more breaths. On your next inhale, you can gently crawl back up to seated. We're going to go ahead and straighten the left leg out in front, keeping that right knee bent. Maybe you walk the foot in a bit more towards your hips. We're going to inhale both arms to the sky. And exhale, allow your torso to come face your left foot and fold forward. Keeping a nice long spine, lifting the chest. We're really aiming to fold from the hips. Bending the knees slightly, activating through the toes. Just breathe here. Inhale, walk the hands up. Come back up to seated. Switch the feet so the left foot comes in towards the hips. Right foot comes out long. Inhale, arms to the sky. Face the right foot and go ahead and fold forward from the hips. Still lifting the chest, activating the toes. Once again, taking any intense sensations and just sending your breath to those areas. Inhale, you can walk the hands back up to seated. Allow both legs to come out long, bending the knees ever so slightly. In fact, if you have a blanket or a pillow or even another yoga mat that you might want to put underneath the knees for some support here, that's always a great option for you. We're just going to inhale, hands to the sky once more. And exhale, folding from the hips. Fold forward, dropping the chin just a bit. Broadening through the collarbones. If you'd like, on your next exhale, you can begin to arch the back a bit and come down even farther. Maybe grabbing your heels or the back of your calves. Still keeping that nice micro bend in the knees if you are coming down farther. And just protecting the joints as always. Allow the head to lower, feeling that stretch in the back of the neck. As you inhale, you can gently crawl all the way up to seated. And then we're just going to gently lower ourselves back to the earth. Bend the knees. Allow the soles of the feet to come to the earth. We're just going to engage in some nice gentle pelvic tilts here. So go ahead and take a nice deep inhale. And on your exhale, you're going to really squeeze in through the abdomen. And exhale so much so that your back begins to come even closer to the earth, almost curling the hips up ever so slightly. Pulling the lower belly in. And inhale to release. Letting the spine come back to its normal position. Exhale. Using the breath to really wring it all out. Spine comes flush to your mat. And inhale, fill it up again. Take 3 more rounds, following your own breath. Really pressing into the feet evenly. Noticing where your mat connects with the body, where the ground is holding you up. Once you're ready to find stillness once more, we are going to work our way into our final Shavasana pose. So wherever that feels comfortable for you, maybe you return to our first position where you have the feet about mats width apart and allow the knees to come rest in towards each other. Maybe you just allow the feet to rest out long, flop side to side. Or maybe you bring the soles of the feet together and allow the hips to rest out wide. And as always, you don't even have to take Shavasana lying. If sitting up and finding a comfortable seat feels best for you, that's always an option as well. Just wherever you are, finding a comfortable placement for the hands. And working your way into stillness. Once you've found stillness in your savasana posture, feel free to take some time. In fact, take all the time you need and scan slowly from head to toe, observing anywhere that might still be holding tension. Taking time to observe each muscle, each finger and toe, every area of the body, inside and out, front and back, left, right. And as you find these areas that might be holding tension, just gently give them permission to relax, to release. Maybe you imagine that you're taking your thumb and massaging out these areas. Of course, if at any time you need to adjust your posture, feel free. Ideally, beginning to relax more and more into the mat until the body begins to grow heavy. Take some time here to just be. Nowhere to be, nothing that needs to be done, and no obligations. Just knowing that this time, taking this time for you, is the most important thing right now. If you've completed your body scan, maybe go back over and see if there's any areas that still need some love. See if you can relax even farther into the mat. Just let distractions come in and out of the mind at their own pace. Allow the thoughts to go on autopilot. And allow the mind to still. Feel free to stay here in Shavasana for however long you need. But when you're ready, you can begin to bring the awareness back to your body, back to the breath. Maybe you take a nice, refreshing inhale. Begin to find a bit of gentle movement by dropping the head one way and then the other, massaging the back of the head. Maybe you begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Rotating the wrists or the ankles. Even coming into a morning stretch, stretching the arms and the legs out long, and eventually rolling on to the left side of the body. When you're ready, you're just going to stay there for a moment. Maybe you take this time to express a little bit of gratitude to yourself for everything that you do for you, for showing up to your mat today and taking care of you. When you're ready, you can begin to press into the earth and slowly come back up to seated. I hope this practice was beneficial for you today and helped you to cultivate a little bit of gratitude that you can carry with you for the rest of your day. I'll bring my palms together and up to my third eye. Namaste. I appreciate all of you, and I'm grateful